Hey guys, Tyrup here, bringing you some more World Championships action from the quarterfinals. Today spawning on the left, we have Noggano playing his US forces, and in his loadout is mechanized heavy cav and recon support. Facing off against him on the right, we have Isildur playing his OKW and straight away locking in Grand Offensive. I want to cover some of these matches. They were cast live, but as far as I'm aware, this series, the person who cast them doesn't have a YouTube, so I don't want them to get lost. This is the World Championships, biggest prize pool ever for a Company of Heroes tournament. It's a shame for a match in the quarterfinals to get lost, so I want to go back and cover this series. So yeah, here we are, underway. Quarterfinals action, exciting stuff. We'll see how it gets on. Interesting, Isildur straight away locking Grand Offensive does seem to be a very popular commander in the quarterfinals and up. So DVM making use of it as well. Long range firefight here. Tank trap gets interrupted. Isildur firmly in the lead, but Noggano trying to stay in there, complete the capture before getting forced off. Maybe if... okay, I thought maybe he'd have a rifleman squad coming to hold on to this, but no. Rifleman making moves in the south. Stumpine is hiding behind the wall. And here comes the dodge. Noggano locking in, mechanized, getting the WC-51. Notice he's gone for it as his third unit that he produces. Big difference to what Von Ivan was using. And also just going for one at the moment. But you know, he did make a priority of capturing his munitions, like tried to get them in very early on, so he would have access to the 50 cal very early on, so clearly altering his capping order to make this build work. Here we are, Isildur already just plopping down a whole bunch of sandbags. Getting control of that fuel early on. Slightly better resource control from him, but not by a huge amount. And interesting, he's going for 4 Fox Grenadiers. We saw Jove go for 2 Panzer Fusiliers. Fusiliers, you know, generally being a little bit weaker in the early game. They do have better long-range performance than Fox Grenadiers, but only by a small margin. But yeah, with the G43s, they scale so well, and Jove made good use of the flares as well on those Fusiliers. They can make a big difference in the late game, having the extra bit of sight. So a bit disappointed to not even see one squad Fusiliers mixed in here from Isildur. Echelon slowly slugging it out. There's only one window in this direction, so Noggano happy to trade here. Still not the best engagement for either player. Oh, Rifleman caught out here. 3v2 and one squad gone. Second squad should follow you shortly thereafter. He wanted to force a retreat on that one so that they couldn't be used as a capping squad and back play. Then you know, allow Isildur to push forwards with 2 squads and get offensive with them. So good play there by Noggano, sticking around for a little bit longer to force that retreat. Now Isildur just switching his angle, doing some capping. OC-51, wow, he's chucking a squad inside. He's going for the cav rifles. And they are upgrading with the Thompsons. This is a lot of firepower. No truck up yet. So Isildur extremely vulnerable. In fact, he's a little bit late getting his tech truck down, which has exposed him to this. Could have had that down by now. Just, well, maybe it could be in production by now, at the very least, but close to complete. Chimmy's going mechanized, of course. And just a drop off here. Have Rifleman's pop out. WC-51 backs into the fuel point. Multitasking there from Noggano, looking strong. And looks like the Fox Grenadiers are going to win this one now. It's kind of like 2 models versus 1 now rather than 4v1. So DPS from the REs. Wow, he jumps out little bit surprising. He would have won that. Maybe he's worried about getting wiped on retreat. Not sure. Re-echelon force away before they can get any capping done at all. Rifleman flooding forwards, going for the cutoff here. Cav Rifleman's getting in close. This is where they want to be, but they are outnumbered 2v1. Can unfortunately it is do enough. Oh, WC-51 coming in from the angle as well. Look at the range on its gun, so strong. Wow, 2v1 scenario there for the Cav rifles. That is impressive. And look at this, Noggano getting his Stuart super fast. Look at how fast the Stuart's coming in. Looks is going to come in after it. Such an early Stuart. Isildur in some big trouble here now. Noggano moving into the retreat path here. Comes Isildur's squads from the base though. Slightly out position, but incendiary grenade in there to heartily win that engagement. Empire's in the back. Oh, I don't think he can get the white there, and they're not quite low enough. And fortunately, he's flooding forwards. But in comes the WC-51. This thing's a real nuisance. Isildur in some trouble in terms of map control. Bleeding hard in terms of manpower now as well. Opening up there. Oh, Empire's in a bit of trouble. Comes the looks, going for the WC-51. He pops the marked vehicle on. Whoopsie daisy. And gets away. Looks doesn't want to chase in close to the Stuart. So we're in a tough position, not enough manpower for a Raked, not even close. You have to remember they are a little bit more expensive these days than they used to be. Oof. Stuart getting some big hits in. It's the thing with the Stuart, you know, its main gun, it's a bit wayward, but when it hits, it slaps hard. Trying to close in, but Noggano too strong with the vehicle control, backing away perfectly so he doesn't take the Faust. Looks meanwhile doing some good damage there, but look at Noggano's map control on the back of this. He is sitting pretty. Pick his engagement. It's going to be for the cutoff. Ooh, they were kneeling down. They almost got the Faust off, but not quite. Here we go, WC-51 going for the counter harass. It's a good thing about WC-51, yeah, it kind of gives you similar potential to the M20, but you don't have to spend any fuel, allowing you to get that Stuart out so much faster. To shut down your opponent's looks. Isildur, yeah, he's inching towards the Puma, but it's taken a while. Taken a long while. So we're seeing some weapon racks coming in from Noggano now. WC-51 in the building, looks switching sides now. And we're getting coming out here, landing one shot on the WC-51, but not enough to get the kill. Looks charging forwards, looking for it, but he steps it. He's stepping on it. Oh, he goes down, a little bit of a pathing hiccup as he tries to back around the corner. Good pick off there for Isildur. Getting in position to assist if the Stuart shows itself. And you know, this is a bit of a lull in power for Noggano. He's going to take weapon racks, he's got the ambulance, hasn't reaped any of the rewards from that yet. Oh, he's got bazookas on this rear echelon squad. Getting in position here, not set up though. Sets up now. And come the bazookas, they're going to take up position inside the building. And the looks forced away. Cav Rifleman looking for a 2v1 here. No. 1v2. Just trying to stall. Let's have a squad coming up in support. He's dropping models quickly, but he is preventing Isildur from getting control of the fuel at the very least, and we are going to see Isildur go for the Puma to try counter the Stuart. It's working a little bit low here.
Panzer commanders are now on standby for field operations.
Some action in the middle. STG Fox try to hold the line, but they're about to be outnumbered 2v1. Meanwhile, Noggano going for a 50 cal to back things up. Where's that coming? Still down in the south. Interesting. Okay. Rifleman forced away. Being very defensive with the Stuart. Worried about that Raketen coming in, but it is quite far away. Now mobilizing. Here we go. Looks finds a good angle to force away those two squads. And there we go. Raketen getting in there. The cow setting up. Out of range for a follow-up shot though. Oh, this is a pretty nasty force for Noggano. Probably going to result in a retreat here for Isildur. Or maybe not. Looks coming in from a creative angle. Catches the 50 cal. But Looks doesn't have any support. Where's the Puma? Here it comes now. Trying to bait the Stuart. One more shot and the Stuart will go down here. Oh, Puma misses. Stuart's still alive. Puma going for one more. He gets it there. And he's smoking the machine gun. Trying to avoid the sticky satchel with the Puma. He does. He gets away. I think that will be one bazooka shot from death as well. So good engagement there for Isildur. Oh, but he lost a Volksgrenadier amongst all that, it seems. Maybe this here went down to the 50 cal. So then that's more of an even trade, honestly. Seems like Noggano does have his major coming forwards. So it's really going to come down to how much damage Isildur can do with his light vehicles in this period before the Sherman comes out. How much can he slow down that Sherman? And then that conversely is going to come down to the positioning of Noggano, where his bazookas are at. Can he threaten the snares, minimize the amount of damage he's taken from these light vehicles? He didn't even fully repair the looks, maybe a little bit of an error. Did he take more bazooka fire already? I'm not sure. Dodging away. Oh. And Noggano's still in a really strong position. About to take control of double fuel here. So we're actually floating quite a lot of munitions. I'm surprised we haven't seen more SCGs upgrade from him. I think that's a little bit of a mistake. Not getting a few more STGs early on. And he does actually rebuild that Volksgrenadier as well. And he once again does go for Volksgrenadiers as well. Even with the munitions, he could go for the Fusiliers, and you know, with the G43s immediately, they would kind of negate one of their weaknesses in the early game, but no. Still just goes for the Volksgrens. Close escape there. Here comes the looks now. That forces a retreat from Noggano, but around 20 fuel away from the Sherman now. And he's gone for another 50 cal to help lock things down. Cal in the centre, about to get flanked though. Yep, full retreat there from Noggano, not risking anything. Sometimes you don't want to be on that side of cover when your looks as they'll do a bit more friendly fire damage than it will to your opponent, but Noggano just playing cautiously, getting the early retreats, not trying to overplay his hand. And there we go, he makes the transition all the way up to the Sherman very smoothly. Isildur not able to do enough damage with his light vehicles in that phase to slow down the Sherman enough. It's looking a bit rough for Isildur. He does have a decent chunk of anti-tank between the Raketen and the Puma, but we all struggle a little bit in the anti-infantry department. You know, all these riflemen getting barred up, double 50 cals. Much stronger than the MG34. We have seen a lot of machine gun play these last few tournament matches. Double and triple machine guns, not unheard of in these tournament matches. Just when you have so many of them, it's just hard to outmaneuver with infantry alone. And with these players, you know, never getting the battle group HQ, never getting the infantry support guns. Just make it a little bit tricky to counter them with OKW. Okay, Sherman out on the field now. Heading straight down the site. We've got to be careful. Kitten just left in an unusual position. Forgotten about, perhaps. Sherman heading to the north now, though. So that finally did wriggle control of the map. Briefly getting a lion's share of it, but it's about to be reversed. And interesting to see. Dozer Blade upgraded first for Noggano. Ooh. Sandbag's gone. Squad. Getting the hell out of there. Kitten lying in wait. And we're heading up to counter the Sherman. This is its first shot. Major Arty coming down on the building. MG a little bit slow to get out. But Major Arty also quite slow to come down. Gets out of there before any damage is taken. It looks forcing the retreat in the south. And this is an interesting split from Isildur, you know. He's using the Puma on one side of the map to tame the Sherman and leaving the Lux Raketen on the other side, just in case the Sherman shows up over here. It's well handled. Oh boy, bazookas get on the rear of the Puma, almost knock it out. Sherman chasing in for the kill. Oh, he's going to find the Schwer going up as well. Raketen very slow, not being brought in to assist. He needs to cancel this. With the bazookas there, it doesn't get the gun straight away. He's going to lose it. Sherman needs to switch rounds now. Now it's upgraded, otherwise you have trouble penetrating it. Bazooka's going to do the damage though. Yeah, and there goes the tech truck for Isildur. Greedy stuff trying to complete it there. Bit lazy, bringing his Raketen over, very slow. And Noggano gets away scot-free. Not as costly as it could have been, you know, he didn't upgrade the Panzer authorization. But still, that's a bit of a blunder for Isildur. But good moves from Noggano, getting his bazookas on the rear of the Puma was what made the difference in that engagement. And the main gun critical, of course, meaning he couldn't even afford to take pot shots from long range. Wasn't an option. Ooh, Volksgrenadier goes down there. The firepower from the lieutenant too strong. He's got double bars on that squad, so they're spitting out some nasty damage. Looks coming in. Puma nearby. Where's the Raketen? Okay, Raketen mobilizing into a more relevant position. Sherman back for repairs at the moment though. Noggano getting out of there in time. And once again rebuilding the Volksgrenadier. Did finally, you know, fully upgrade his squads with STGs. Oh boy, looks taking engine damage here. Noggano side-ticking here to get the captain. Interesting choice. Let's see that from Jove. Bringing up the bazookas now. He does have a mechanic upgrade there. Sherman coming straight down the center. Raketen is there. Gets some damage in. It needs the Puma to assist. And getting zoned out at the moment, but can come back in now. Raketen, yeah, there we go. Retreats, good stuff. Squad's coming in from the north to try and prevent this cut-off. Puma got on a creative route, but gets caught by the double bazookas. Has to go back for repairs now. Some story though for the Sherman, so not all bad for Isildur. fact that he went for the captain, does that mean that he's going for Pack-Howie? He doesn't appear to be. I mean, double officers, you know, it's not that bad. It does give him access to the anti-tank gun if he wants it, but if you didn't spend that fuel on the officer, he'd be right there for Jackson right about now. So a little bit surprising. If you're like, you know, in a more defensive position, you're struggling, you need that PT gun, it's understandable, but he's in a good spot right now. Taking down the tech structure, you know, he doesn't have to worry about his opponent bringing in a Panzer IV anytime soon. Oh, yeah, still has to go for the Panzer authorization. So he's still, you know, about 70 fuel away from a tank. If he didn't cancel the HQ though, maybe he could have gone for the AT gun. Noggano has a good idea of the resources, good idea of his position, making the correct build decisions. And now he's coming forwards with the Sherman, getting aggressive. Bazooka's there to support. Puma all the way back. Isildur not bringing it in at all for this engagement. Probably should have taken 1 or 2 shots there. The cow doing some good damage to that squad behind the sandbags. Raketin all the way in the north, using it for capping. Not trying to really target the Sherman with it too much. Puma misses his first shot. Bounces the second. Got a little bit more armor with that dozer blade. So Puma does have a trickier time penetrating it. Tougher time. Second Raketin coming in for Isildur. I think that's a wise choice. And Noggano, he's not going for a Jackson, which would be the safe play. He's going for a second Sherman. He's going to try finish the game right here. Deny his opponent a chance to field a tank in response. So let's see how he gets on with it. And he's going to have a pretty sizable advantage. It comes down to Isildur's Raketin position, really. Oh, this got a little bit clumped up there. Oh, and he retreats. Yeah, he's not even taking the risk. Connecting the Sherman on AP ammo. Okay, double Raketins now. Looks like they're being used together. I'll try and knock out the Shermans in one blow. Looks out here doing some good damage. Sherman coming forwards. Uh-oh, but Puma bouncing. Second Raketin setting up. Aim shot on it. Oh, but he loses sight and the Sherman gets away. You heard the announcer, Isildur under 200 VPs now. He's going okay, he's just having a trouble finding his footing. These machine guns kind of locking him out of the territory, making it very hard to capture. Also, finding its units behind heavy cover can be tricky. He is going for a bit of a flank here. And now making the most of both of the Shermans out for repairs. Next chasing away the lieutenant. Pretty good stuff here overall for Noggano, but I mean for Isildur. But maybe not for long. Double Shermans back on the battlefield. Double Raketins are up here as well. It's a real shame that he didn't vet up the Puma too much. Didn't really Oh. Lieutenant down. Goes down to a mine. Well, there you go. First wipe of the game against Noggano. Oh, I suppose he lost to WC-51. Double Sherman going to the other side of the map, away from the Raketin. Ooh. Oh boy, Stern Pioneer's in some big trouble here. And the HE Shermans mop him up. That is costly for Isildur. He's right there for a medium tank if that's what he's going for. He loses Stern Pioneers, so limiting his repair capabilities. And I think he does need to go for a tank right now. I don't think he can afford to wait for a Tiger from this position. He's just struggling a little bit too much, in my opinion. Especially on the slow amount of VPs. By the time he gets the Tiger, it could be game over. Sitting bit 4 there, but this is a wave of infantry for Noggano. Oh, and in come the bazookas once again, finding the Puma. Puma not responding appropriately, popping the smoke. Second bazooka connects. Send your grenade, but the squad already has retreated. But look at this control from Noggano, just pegging Isildur to a small area right next to his base, trying to break out to the other side, but that is just food for the Sherman. Going in. Is he going to go all the way to base for the base chase? Yeah, he's thinking about it, but here come the Volksgrenadiers looking for the snare. Oh, he only threw off one Faust there, so no snare. Puma not at super high health though, would be a little bit risky trying to chase it. The damaged engine anyway. He's doing a good job here, but here comes the Sherman. A high explosive though, so not guaranteed to penetrate. And those Raketans, here they come. This could be a decent move for Isildur. Getting a flank on this 50 cal here with the Volksgrens. It's got the Raketans nearby. A little bit, yeah, idle with the Panzer II. Double bar riflemen showing their strength here in this engagement though. Yeah, the Puma back in action, back on the battlefield. Isildur floating quite a lot of resources here. Wants to make sure he can call in the Tiger as soon as the button is available. Potentially could have got one more unit in this scenario. And the Puma really having trouble against the extra armor on the Sherman from the Dozer Blade. Does make a difference. Puma struggling to penetrate. Oh, did he get a T-grenade off? He did! Wow! So we're just getting slightly too close, and now the Look's in some trouble. Sherman coming in. Still on a high explosive at the moment though. The Raketans are right there, but they're not set up on the correct direction at least. Here we go, setting up now. Puma there, going for the aim shot, but he penetrates. Even, I'm pretty sure that was on high explosive. Now Puma looking for revenge, but a couple bounces. Bounce again. Oh boy. Oh, he gets the kill. Lucky break there for Isildur. Final shot. Getting the job done. I suppose it's not super lucky since he bounced the 2 before that, but if he didn't make that shot, that was game over right there. Oh, huge HE Sherman shell. Then comes the smoke. Oh, but the second Sherman shot gets the kill a little bit late on the retreat there. Isildur in disarray. He's so close to the Tiger, but he's taking so many losses. His last 20 or so fuel, he's just lost complete control. He's almost out of VPs as well. That's what I was talking about. I thought he probably should have gone for a medium. This Tiger's just been a little bit too late coming. But we've seen some miracles before. Those heavy tanks are really strong. They can get wipes like crazy, but you don't expect Noggano to really allow that as a factor. And speaking of, he's about to get a wipe here on the MG34. Tiger called in though. Can this get the turnaround? 26 victory points left. Capping one. Needs a second though, and doesn't look like it's forthcoming. 8 in. Squad down. And yeah, that's going to be it. Can't get the VPs under control in time. Not even with the strength of the Tiger. Jackson coming in now in response to that. Tiger going hunting for the Sherman. Exposes rear armor to the bazookas though. Taking a few hits. And there we go, Puma going down. Tiger's still on the hunt. Squad trying to sneak into the VP, but they get pinned. And that's going to be the match. Still on the hunt. Isildur doesn't want to give up, but it's not going to happen for him. And here comes the Jackson. Isildur going down. So yeah, interesting first match there. Some really strong play from Noggano. Very good early game map control, leading to a super fast Stuart. Really contained the looks in the early game, slowed down the progress of the Puma, and Noggano rolling that into a strong medium tank phase. A little bit of a risk going for the double Shermans, but it paid off, slowing down Isildur's progress towards the Tiger so much that by the time it arrived, the game was already decided. So yeah, very good play there from Noggano. He's up 1-0. So here we are for game 2 of this series. Isildur now starting out as Soviet, straight away locking in armored assault, and of course he wants access to those radio intercept transmissions. Going for a conscript start. Facing off against him, we have Noggano going as Oz there, so completely different factions from what we saw in game 1. That's nice to see. And Noggano going for an assault grenadier strategy. He's gone for double pioneers into assault grenadiers. Interesting start. And honestly, I think assault grenadiers are like extremely strong against conscripts. This is one matchup that I really struggle with. If I'm using conscripts, I am just in struggle street right from the first second against assault grenadiers. I feel like that's a horrible matchup for conscripts, which is why we saw Loveness go for tier 1 against Von Ivan. Well, I don't know if you've seen that series, but that's exactly what he did. And he also left the door open to go for tier 1, even when Von Ivan went for a different commander with the 5-man grenadiers. Went for double combat engineer with the radio intercept, waiting to hear if assault grenadiers were coming in, and after they weren't, he just went into a conscript build following that. So that's how much Loveness respects assault grenadiers. And it looks like Isildur paying it a similar respect here, going for tier 1 a little bit late. Getting himself out at M3. But better late than never. We go first real engagement of the map. Assault grenadiers charging forwards. Just trying to hold the line here. This is a pretty good engagement here from Noggano against the building. 1 window against 5 guns. Just trying to hold the line in the building, wait for the M3 to arrive, but too late. And good early engagement there for Noggano. And jump in the M3 with the combat engineer. Very slow getting his munitions under control though, so no flamethrower. And even once he gets to 60, he's going to be in cut-off territory, so he's not going to be able to go for the upgrade. But Isildur's holding strong, staying with his current direction, still going for the conscripts, not switching over to the penals now after doing the tech structure. He might go for one spot of penals. Yeah, not being able to upgrade the flamethrower here, costing Isildur and Noggano, exploiting that by holding the line, jumping into the building. And look at this map control thanks to this Assault Grenadier star. This is why it's so powerful. Conscripts struggling in the engagements, gets off to a super fast start, super fast tier 2. And we're going to see like potentially a 2-2-2 coming in record time. And that's why I thought he might go for at least one squad of penals. They do match up a little bit better against the Assault Grenadiers, and then you can get them with PTRSs. Thrower now upgraded. He's getting aggressive. He has to back away in the face of this machine gun bunker. But sitting pretty. Isildur is very low on map control, and 2-2-2 coming in super fast. Look at this. 4 minutes 10. This is the power of the Assault Grenadiers against conscripts. They're so strong. And I think they're especially good on this map as well, on Nexus. But showing a different tactic to von Ivanhoe, who tried to play more aggressively, tried to speed the command point clock, mechanized assault group. Different tactic here, going for an early 2-2-2. But Isildur already with the AT grenades locked and loaded, thanks to the ray intercept, knew what to prepare for. Either way, that 2-2-2 did heavy damage to those conscripts. And Noggano going to follow this up with a flamer half-track, it looks like. So double light vehicles. And Isildur is going to struggle. Doesn't have tier 2 down, no access to the Zis yet. And struggling in engagements across the map. Good dodge on the grenade assault. Oh. Noggano drove a little bit too far forwards there. Oh, okay. Lost his munitions by using the grenade assault. Doesn't have enough for the upgrade yet. Conscripts get in range for the AT grenade. Okay, that's going to slow him down a little bit. Yeah, 2-2-2 back up and ticking. And he's going hunting for the M3. Conscripts with the grenade on cooldown. Noggano exploiting that by going for the chase down. And he gets it. M3 down. Nice play there from Noggano. Pouncing on that opportunity that was given to him. Interesting also to see Isildur go for a second combat engineer this early on. Yeah, he's gone for medics as well. So that's why he's so low on manpower at the moment. Getting back into the action after a bug splat there. Good play so far from Noggano. Just a very interesting build, you know, a different approach to Assault Grenadiers compared to von Ivanhoe. It does seem to be very strong. That was just such a fast 2-2-2. Giving Isildur scrambling here. Flamethrower upgrading on the half track now as well. Conscripts, ooh, I think, yeah, they did get in range for an AT grenade. But there's actually one thing I wanted to say is that Isildur hasn't really been making use of sandbags on his conscripts. That's one thing we've seen a lot from the absolute top players. Lots and lots of sandbags. Sandbags tend to be better for him than they do for his opponent. He can fight from long range with his conscripts compared to Assault Grenadiers. Very poor in that scenario. There we go, flamethrower pops, forces the retreat. And this is a timing where it's clear that Isildur's not going to try side tech. He's not going to go for tier 2 into his Zis. He's trying to hang in there for his tier 3 light vehicles. And ordinarily I would say maybe he could go for a quad in this scenario, but he's been spending so many munitions on AT grenades. It's not really an option for him at the moment. me. So yeah, I'm not sure. Guess it's just going to have to go for the T70, but fuel income very slow at the moment. So we're running forwards. They're going to get an AT grenade off, but costs them a lot of health. So we're running forwards, but P-Greens are waiting, hiding behind the bushes. Second squad of conscripts are there though. P-Greens repositioning, look to take cover. Oh, they're just going to hide. Any conscript comes into this point, P-Greens can just bully them off. Even 2v1, they'll be very close to being able to beat the conscripts. So good engagement awareness there from Noggano. Really good positioning. Nice soft retreat, and once again Noggano in control of the entire map thanks to this double light vehicle play. Now he's putting some air mines up behind this. Behind the pressure. Isildur has put down his tech. 10 or 5 fuel now away from the T70, but it's a slow 5. Screen's closing the distance here with the sprint. Here comes the flamethrower. Then comes the flamer half track coming back the other way and sticking around a little bit too long there. P-Greens spring the ambush from behind the fence, forcing away the conscripts, and in come the Panzer Grenadiers, also getting forced off. Now the Flamer half-track, maybe thinking about going in for a bit of a base inspection here even. Not just doing a lot of health damage, no. Okay. And you know, there's going to take a long time for the medics to heal. Only 3 medics, and that's a lot of men that need healing. I have aura healing like US forces. Look at that. Noggano bringing this 222 onto the other side of cover, try and maximize the damage. He is in complete control, has basically every sector on the map right now. Here comes 222, let's see if this can get something done. He's got no snares at the moment. 222 trying to hightail it out of there. T70 connecting though. Looks like he's going to go for some wipes. Checking the P-Greens, no Shreks. Grab one of them. It does. So this squad inside the building. Oh, was that a half-track shoe mine there from Noggano? Nice. You see that too often? Green Shreks gonna pop inside the building. That's gonna be a rude surprise for Isildur. Could lose T70 here, and Isildur should probably be aware, like, why would Noggano be staying in this building unless those Shreks are gonna pop? Generally, if an opponent of this high caliber is staying in a bad engagement, it's to try to set up a trap just like that. Conscripts were considering going for the Ura AT grenade, but no munitions for it. There we go. So we're gonna try challenging the top now. Conscripts got to be careful with their retreat path. Maybe half-track could knock them out. And he is going for tier 2, getting the Zis out. So Isildur just had a really awkward timing there. You know, he was trying to make sure he had all the resources for the T70, but you know, by the time he had the T70, he had close to 300 manpower floating after it was in production. He just couldn't afford any anything else. Had very limited options. I'm sure he wanted some team weapons, but they weren't open to him. And look at these Asgreen sneaking in on the cutoff. Early retreat on the Flamer squad there. Taking a look at tech already, tier 3 down, and Panzer 4 coming in for Noggano, and that should seal the game, but Isildur's going to have 2 Zis to counter this, so as long as he doesn't lose the T70 in the process, Should be alright. And speaking of, is this lining up a shot? Oh, he loses sight, goes for the attack ground. Flame half-track gets out of there. Close call, close call. Oh, squad trying to defuse the mines and do the capping, but the 222 fire triggering them, doing a lot of damage to the combat engineers in the process. And there we go. P4 finds an angle. The T70, but this is there. So Isildur now, his plan of attack has to be trying to play on like one half of the map with all of his units in a tight radius around those AT guns. But he's still kind of spreading out, going both directions. Maybe he'll make a bit of a stronger stand in the south. He's sending both AT guns down here now.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Okay, he's going for the upgrade, the veteran squad leader, getting that 6th man. That's when conscripts just stand no chance at all. There we go, recon mode providing some sight. Oh, doubles this, connecting there. Panzer IV taking heavy damage, but oh, nice attack ground. So that's out of commission for some repairs, but there are double pioneers, so I suppose that's another benefit of Noggano. Going for the double pioneers early, allows them to get that super fast tech, but then with all these vehicles he also gets super fast repairs. That's smart stuff, smart strategy here from Noggano. Jackson coming in for Isildur, he's going to try hold the line.
Bravely for the Reich.
Capping in the middle. Not wiring off this cover though with his combat engineers. Feel like he's been missing a few of those like little touches, you know, like the mines, the tripwire flares, the wiring off, the sandbagging we've seen from a lot of the other top players so far this tournament. Ooh. Oh, late retreat. Isildur taking some heavy damage. In comes the T70. Stops the 222 from getting the chase down, but that was a close call. Easily could have been a white. Panzer IV back up to full strength. I wonder if Noggano will go for a minesweeper now. Isildur with a bit of munitions in the bank now himself. Finally. Oh. Ooh, big bundle grenades. Ooh, conscript super low after that. The T-grenade connecting with the flame half-track. Just trying to get in position, but not terribly well supported here. Once again, Isildur going for a bit of a split in his forces. And it is leaving him with a few holes. And come the P-green Shreks. T-70's there to try and repel them. But T-70 backed against a wall here. Slightly awkward. Looks like he wants to set up for a Zis barrage to shut them down. Speaking of Zis barrages, here comes one. But good early retreat there. So we're holding the line. He's holding. But he's not winning. And Noggano once again not content to sit back. Oh, did he just lose the combat engineer with the sweeper there? I think he might have. Yeah, he's not content to rest on his laurels. He's going to go in for the kill. He's getting the flak panzer. He's going to go for the overwhelm here. This is risky, you know. If you get snared, you hit a mine, these kind of high vehicle plays can fall apart in the blink of an eye against a double AT gun setup like this, but Noggano's not afraid. He's not going to stall for the Tiger. He's going for the win right here. Panzer going for the chase down. Doubles this, nowhere to be found. And he's going all the way into base for this one. A little bit risky. Could be a mine on the doorstep. Oh! Speaking of risky, Panzer IV goes down on the other side. Doubles this strike, and that is why it is risky to go for this kind of high vehicle play. But the flak panzer does secure the kill on those conscripts. a good pick off. Isildur actually going for a second T-70, realizing his position.
Enemy forces are securing our
He
territory.
needs a little bit more anti-infantry firepower to help against his Peregrines and Askrens. And T-70 is actually he's somewhat decent against the Flak Panzer too. Especially two of them here. Where are the Shreks? Coming across from the middle. This connects for one shot. And T-70 is putting some pressure on. Noggano, he's playing it cool. And now the Shreks in position. Missed the first one, missed the second. Oh, that's a little bit unlucky. Noggano go for another Flak Panzer here. And there we go. The Shreks actually get the kill on that second T-70. I don't know what it was doing. It was on low health from the Flak Panzers, but he brings it in and the Shreks get the kill. Maybe I know he popped a second set of Shreks, but I think he would have died to one volley of Shreks anyway at that amount of health. So a bit of a blunder there for Isildur, right as he's starting to make a bit of a comeback too.
New anti-tank gun has arrived.
It's going to be double Flak Panzers. Let's see if these can close out the game.
Ostwind ready for deployment.
Isildur at 160 VPs. And about to take control of the center. Oh, look at this. He's actually back-ticked, got out tier 2. This is something we never saw from Von Ivan, and got himself a pack. So it should really help him against now the lone T-70, but it's nice when you don't have to send your vehicle in to fight their vehicles. There we go. One's just lining up on the Flak Panzer. Bounces away.
The enemy is taking our territory.
222 is Vet 3, so it's got a really good line of sight on that. As it's trying to take some long range shots. Oh. Did he get a mine there? Panzer backing away. Is this maybe missing a shot there? Oh. And now we're seeing Isildur getting some mine sound. That's nice to see. And they are making a big difference. Helping him maintain his territory control.
Enemy forces are securing our
And he's
territory.
repairing up that one. And Isildur fighting back strongly here. Yeah, this kind of support weapon play can be a tough nut to crack us off there. It's quite hard to access to the Panzerwerfer, and even then the Werfer not that strong against 6-man weapon teams. There we go, we've got enough firepower on these two Panzergrenadiers, even with the Shreks who threaten the Zis. And they do destroy it there. They decrew it, and now going for the kill with these Shreks. Ooh, Flak Panzer North almost taking out the T-70. And there we go, one Zis down, nice play there from Noggano. Flak Panzer getting away, and in come the Peregrines going for the second Zis. 222 dancing in there. Isildur just calls the GG. No, so he was about to lose his second Zis. And that would have been the game. So yeah, just really strong start here from Noggano. Isildur tried to switch up the strategy to counter the Assault Grenadiers going for tier 1, but I feel like he didn't get enough damage done with his M3. He was a bit late getting the flamethrower on the M3, so he couldn't fully exploit its timing, also coming in at a bit of a late timing. We do, retreat back and build the tier 1 tech structure, so Isildur really struggling for map control. And then Noggano just rolling into some super strong light vehicle play. Isildur trying to hold out until the T-70 eventually got there, but by then he was so far behind. Almost stabilized at the end there with the team weapon play, but just the Peregrine Shreks getting on top of out of position Zis. And then it all crumbled after that. GG, and Noggano goes up 2-0 now. So here we are for the third match in this quarterfinal series. Noggano up 2-0. Now Noggano playing as OKW instead of Oz here, and he's got Grand Offensive, Breakthrough, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces, and facing offensive is Isildur, playing his US Forces, and going as Mechanized, wants to get that DOSI 51 strategy cooking, and he's going for it as his second built unit. Noggano went for it as his third unit. Interesting. And he is making a beeline straight for the munitions so he can get them early on, so he can get that machine gun upgrade for it, which is what makes it so strong. And here we see Noggano going for a Kubel. Saw PFC have quite a lot of success pressuring the DOSI 51 before it had the upgrade against Von Ivan. But not quite that for Noggano. Captures that far off territory point. Stern Pioneers on the cut-off though, so can't engage them. Another Fox Grenadier in for Noggano. It's interesting that Isildur gets to play allies again. I thought you had to alternate between series. I thought he had to play Axis in this match, but I guess I'm wrong. Nice pushing there from Noggano. Gets so much damage on top of those riflemen. And that's going to allow Noggano to get on top of this cut-off very effectively. And this is at a heartbreaking time. Isildur is so close to the munitions for his 50 cal upgrade. If he had them right now, he would just be dumpstering Noggano in this engagement, but he doesn't, and he isn't as a result of that. So he's cut off now. Just the right time, Noggano making just the right plays. He's been on point so far this series. Oh, heavy fire here on the riflemen. Usually they are really good at that range, but not on this occasion. Here we go, upgrading it with the 50 cal, going in for a bit of a push here. Noggano instantly retreats, not taking any risks. DOSI 51 still on the warpath though. Isildur was a little bit late stunning his officer as well. Important to note. Yeah, the resources maybe over 20 seconds I would say before he started the officer. And these kind of matches, those kind of things do make a big difference. Interesting, yeah, he's going
Be advised, ability ready for deployment.
for a ambulance at this stage. It's going to delay his light vehicle severely. But he does have a lot of low health units jumping out to try and get control of the cutoff. Probably should have gone for this split in the first place, sending the light vehicle forwards to get the cutoff. The low health squad in the back, which is going to get chopped up now by the Kubelwagen from Noggano. Gets the neutralized there on the cutoff, but back on the other side, Noggano capturing the fuel with some sandbags. Oh, look at that. Some really good damage on that squad as they made it into the sandbags. They have to retreat. Lieutenant on the field now for Isildur, but doesn't have much traction. We do have the mechanized truck going up for Noggano. DOSI 51 finally getting forced off by small arms fire. Not ideal fighting two squads behind heavy cover. But he is back up to full health now from the ambulance, so let's see if he can take advantage of that in these next few engagements, because he is behind in territory once again. Noggano's engagements have just been so strong throughout this series. Just always a slight step ahead of Isildur. Kubelwagen, I think he was thinking about going for a push there, then he saw the rifleman pop the Vet 1. He's like, oh, not today, buddy. And Isildur going for a 50 cal now, knowing that his Stuart is going to be quite slow. But if you remember, right about now was when Noggano had the Stuart in production. So it really shows a difference in the early game power levels between these two players. Getting forced away there. WC51 switching sides after forcing a few retreats. 50 cal going for the connection on the cutoff. WC51 taking shots from super long range there. Maybe could come up a little bit closer, a little bit more damage. Especially if some other units are already soaking the damage for it, you might as well get a little bit closer. Maybe he's worried about getting a Faust or something, I'm not sure. Slowly picking away, and you see WC51 can shoot from such long range that the Fox Units have no chance of firing back. There's the sight for that as well. This is going to be a pretty hasty looks here for Noggano. Back the other way, Isildur is still 30 fuel away from the Stewart, so things are looking really good for Noggano right now. Isildur having gone for Lieutenant, doesn't have any anti-tank options, and I'm sure he doesn't want to get weapon racks at this stage and delay any further. Delay his Stewart, so he's just going to have to grin and bear it, but once again, you know, these grin and bear it scenarios are not ideal, and it's what Isildur finds himself forced into time and time again in this series. And yeah, eventually has to give up the position there, doesn't get the cap off on the fuel, sandbags destroyed. They potentially could have retreated a little bit earlier, saved a couple models. Now the looks getting aggressive on the rear echelon. They're also forced away before they can complete the capture. Things going right across the entire map for Noggano, outmaneuvering the machine gun here, forcing that away. And looks on a rampage. He's going for the bazooka on the Lieutenant. He's that extra bit of anti-tank. The Stewart is coming in. He's got eyes on the ambulance. Oh, maybe on the 50 cal. It's the D crew. Bazooka about to pop. Noggano pulling back. And bazooka misses. Oh, it's not what Isildur needed right there. He's bleeding hard. Needs everything to go right. But he is stabilizing. He's going for another 50 cal. And that can be pretty hard to outmaneuver. We saw how effective double 50 cals were for Noggano. But he is in struggle street. Not too much territory under control. The fact that he hasn't killed this Kubelwagen is really speaking volumes about Noggano's control of it. Usually WC51 just knocks that thing out immediately. So the fact that that hasn't happened, right as I say that. I did speak volumes to Noggano's control though, going down so late. Oh, he's using combined arms here. Trying to make a siege on this MG in the building. MG in the building could go down. Gets out. Stewart pulled back a little bit, maybe for the threat of the Faust. And I think this is going to allow the machine gun to get away. It does get away. Well, if he brought his Stewart up as the squad was jumping out of the building. Oh. I thought that was maybe a wipe, but it wasn't. Oh, another wipe opportunity here. Oh, Stewart connecting with the wall. And Noggano gets away just in time. We're now on the field for Noggano as well. Going to have to be careful with that Stewart. Still no bazookas for Isildur. That's one thing we saw straight away from Noggano. And those weapon racks very early.
300 points remaining.
Ooh, that Puma getting some good long range hits in.
Weapon rack is now open.
Weapon racks complete for Isildur.
The enemy is overrunning one
Retreated their rear echelon for the bazookas. Machine gun inside the building with the AP ammo can do decent damage to the looks. And the Puma. So you have to respect that. So they're chipping away. Not guaranteed to do it though, and doesn't do very good damage on those last 2 bursts. Very much penetration. Isildur, you know, has a decent chunk of territory control now. Just about not getting caught short. He is once again spreading himself a little bit thin, capturing so much of the map. Does leave some holes in his defences. These bazookas. Oh, he's got the bazooka bus. Maybe that's the bazooka taxi. Bazooka bus would probably be one that has 2 squads of bazookas inside. And here he goes, stepping on it. He's going in for the kill on the Puma. Bazookas shoot their lows. Oh boy, good timing on the smoke there from Noggano. He's going in for the kill. Oh my god! WC-51 gets destroyed. At just the right time. And he loses 3 moles in the process, not enough for a second round of bazookas to come in. I don't think they would have got the kill, it would have been close. And Isildur just throws in the towel. You know, he had his gambit. He went for it with the WC-51 and it didn't pay off. Looks like he lost a rifleman squad somewhere as well. And after that, he throws in the towel. So there you go. Noggano taking a convincing 3-0 series against Isildur. You can just see it, like right from the start of every series. All of his engagements were just so much better than Isildur's right across the map. Like playing these, you know, same matchups, but just playing them so much better. Very impressive control there from Noggano. He's looking really strong. And GG's. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye, and good luck.